Hi everyone, in today's video we will be going over Chrissy Speaks video where she talks about a couple of things related to natural hair and how society feels about it.
So many black women will tell me this product, and not as a form of recommendation, as a form of telling me that my hair wasn't good enough in its natural state, to tell me I had to micromanage my black hair to achieve a certain look. When in reality, I've used 1,000 products on my hair. I've tried to define the curls and all of that, and my hair does not do it. My hair will poof back up. It's a hard time absorbing moisture in its hair and retaining it, unless it's super saturated with water. So essentially, your hair can't stay wet all day. So any style I do, it would eventually dry up and change.
Completely understand what Chrissy Speaks is talking about. Now, I want to mention that I am South African, so people here wear their afros out in its natural state, but there are quite a lot of women who put weaves on a pedestal, and they also have this mentality of natural hair is seen as childish. Not all, but quite a lot of them do. When it comes to like the definition of natural hair with like defining the curls, people here aren't doing that, but there is some type of praise if your hair curls or a certain way, and if it is, insert inverted commas, a soft afro. So some people describe 4C hair as uphuthu or a hard afro or hard hair or tough hair. I do have a video explaining what uphuthu is, but I will tell you that it's not a compliment when someone says that. I remember when I had TikTok and shared my wash days, there were some people commenting that I had hair that was soft, the soft kind of afro, because my hair curled a little, and also they would imply that maybe I was colored, or one of my parents was colored, or maybe my grandparents were colored. And it bothers me a lot when some South Africans think calling someone multiracial is a compliment. It's almost as if the ultimate goal for some people is to look multiracial. Now, back to the topic of intentionally defining your curls. I do have a video where I talk about this obsession with defining curls that I see on YouTube a lot, and I want to make it clear that there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing that occasionally to have a certain hairstyle, like a wash and go, but it becomes concerning when you think that you cannot leave your house without defining your hair. Why can't you just moisturize, comb your afro, and walk out the house? Why don't you style your hair without having to define it all the time? Some of you drench your hair in so much product that when you don't get the result that you're expecting, the result that you've seen on YouTube, you get shocked at how it feels and looks, assuming that it's not moisturized. But in actual fact, that's just how your hair is. And then some people wonder why they are struggling to love their hair. It's because you try to manipulate it into something that it is not.
One of them was about edges. So when I was saying like products and always having my edges done, so you guys see my edges right now. If I were to put the best edge control down here, if I were to walk outside in the heat or sweat a bit, my edges would look like I never did them. And I would do my edges and do my hair before we go out, and then people would be looking at me like, girl, you ain't do your edges, you didn't do this. It's like, one, I did do my edges, thank you. And what is the constant obsession of having your edges done? Now you see with the wigs and any type of perm or layout you get, blowout, the girls are always sticking their edges down. I want a girl with swoop edges and stuff because they so cute.
She didn't utter a single lie. I've noticed that some people really are obsessed with getting their edges laid. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but sometimes you need to just brush the hairline and leave it alone. This is why some people suffer from damaged hairlines, because you do too much to your hair. All that gel and edge control and that constant tugging is not really good for your hair. And I used to do that too when I had braids with hair extensions before my second big chop, and my hairline was starting to disappear. So after the second big chop, all I do is apply oil occasionally and then brush my hair back with my fingers, and I'm done. Sometimes I do use a toothbrush, but I just prefer my fingers when it comes to my hairline. And my hair looks good too, so you will survive without the edge control. Try to dial it back a bit and not overdo it, and watch your hairline flourish.
I get the most compliments and likes when I do have a bust down in my hair, or my hair is more socially acceptable. And I made a TikTok about this as well, and I was like, you know, especially going in New York City and stuff, men always catcalling me if I have like long socially pleasing hair, if I have a bust down on my hair and stuff. I'm 10 times more likely to be catcalled or called out by a man. And when I cut my hair, if I ever wear my natural hair out like this in the state, in like a smaller afro, not the ones that I do with synthetic hair,
In my experience, I have had more women tell me to wear wigs than I have had men tell me to do that. So I've never had a man say something about my natural hair in a negative way, and that was in every stage from a fade. I had very, very short hair and not a single issue. But I have heard some women share similar experiences to Chrissy Speaks, and I have seen some ill behavior where some men will say things like, oh, we love natural women, but then they cheat with the opposite of natural. So they go for someone who looks completely different from natural, someone who wears wigs and weaves and all of that. With that being said, I advise that we as women, no matter the type of hair that you have on your head, if it's an afro, curls, weaves, wigs, relaxed hair, bald, don't do it because you are trying to attract someone. Do it because that's the hairstyle that you want. If you are your authentic self, you will attract someone who will love you for who you are. Let's not make men our reason for doing certain things, because you will get exhausted. Some men are very fickle creatures, and if you keep changing according to each man you come across, you will suffer and lose yourself. You are not a chameleon, so stop changing yourself so many times to please a man. And do not put men in the center of your life, or else you will be full of confusion. Now, I'm not saying that the creator who is speaking is doing that. I'm just giving general advice. This is advice I take, and this is advice I would give to anyone who's listening.
Embracing natural beauty and stop comparing yourself to Diana Ross. This is personal for me. I definitely understand what you're saying. So when you wear your natural hair out, a lot of people will compare you to like a Diana Ross or a Shaka Khan, just a more like vibrant, ethnocentric Black woman, and try to make it seem like, oh, you have to be in touch and in tune to be wearing your natural hair out, like she's this high goddess. They will, I feel like, almost mock what it means to like just embrace your natural hair and wear it out. Yeah, because Diana Ross has an afro don't mean I'm trying to like create a Diana Ross vibe.
So I find this quite funny, but this is also a bit true for me. I remember when I started growing out my afro after my first big chop, people would be like, oh, you're making a statement with your short hair that women can be attractive with short hair. Meanwhile, I just cut my hair because I was tired of relaxers burning my scalp. I find it quite similar to how, because I don't wear makeup, some people think that I'm fighting against like beauty standards or whatever, or think that women shouldn't wear makeup, but I don't wear makeup because I don't have the skills yet. I want to learn. And also, I'm focusing on getting my skincare routine first because I have acne-prone skin, so I just want to get my face corrected, like fixed or something, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to start focusing on makeup. People always make assumptions with natural hair, but I like natural hair because it just looks better on me. Not because I'm protesting against wigs or trying to be enlightened or trying to be a Nubian queen goddess and all of that. I just prefer the thickness of my natural hair compared to when it was relaxed.
She said, I'm glad you brought this up. It's hard getting hairstyles that will last when you work out daily.
I will make a more detailed video on how to build a routine for your hair, but to summarize it, you should base it on your schedule. So pick hairstyles that will also last longer if you feel like you don't have the time, so that way you're not spending too much time on your hair every week. So the most important thing is consistency, and so that can look different for everyone. For some, it's doing your hair once a week, others twice, once every 2 weeks or twice a week, and others could be once a month, as long as you're consistent.
Yeah. My friend said the obsession over categorizing hair type. Yeah, this one goes deep, and I'm gonna start spilling some tea for y'all. So I actually have, like I said, I have friends of all different hair textures, and most of my friends are black girls because, yeah. But I do have a few friends who have natural hair, and their texture is different, which I said makes them they think, you know, conventionally attractive. And they're always like, oh, my hair is this texture, like 4A, 4A, 4B, I got a 3C. But I think that once again goes back into texturism and wanting to fit conventional beauty standards. But y'all do not know how many times a friend has told me, oh, what you gonna do with your hair and things like that. Like, girl, what did you talk? Girl, be for real. Be for real. What are you talking about? What I'm gonna do with my hair? I literally wore my hair out one natural time, and a friend of mine commented. She was like, "Oh, what you gonna do with your hair?" And then I have a friend who every time I'm taking out my natural hair or something like that, we end up on the phone or she's around me, and she starts laughing. Always stop putting heat on your head. I think this is emphasized a lot with, once again, black women policing other black women on what to do with their hair. And they're always telling us, you know, stop putting heat to your head. It's going to damage it. It's going to damage it. I know a lot of other black women who do, you know, get perms or they put heat to their head. Like, other black women will literally bash them. And I think that's another thing we have to stop doing in the black community, which I've been saying. Stop bashing other black women about our hair. We already get enough of that from the world. Like, why do we want to get that from, you know, people, other black women that are supposed to be uplifting each other?
I agree with her. Let's let people choose what they want to do with their hair. So the purpose of my channel and my videos is to reach out to those women who want to go on a natural hair journey, but they don't know how or where to start. And it's also for those women who are already on their journey but are finding it difficult or struggling with self-love. So it's also a support channel. So if that's you or you just like natural hair, welcome to my channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Baby girl, you're black. Your mama black, your daddy black. You're black. Stop. Why is y'all running away from your black features? Me? I ain't gonna do that.